Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, check out my membership. I already have a lot of good stuff on there. I'm gonna have a lot more good stuff on there, and it really helps me continue to do some of the things that I want to do on this channel, because this, believe it or not, the really good stuff that's not on YouTube costs a lot of money. Okay, so for just merely $5 a month, you guys can help me start to do some really cool stuff on here. So let's get into the video. The serve. This is one of my pet peeves with the serve, and I'm going to get into a story that's very relevant of this. And I just got back from, I was watching a high school district playoff tournament, and you see this with high school players a lot. And there's a lot of good high school players, which I'm going to get into as well. But back to the serve. One of my pet peeves is serving without a partner, serving without a returner. I cannot stand this. I can't stand practicing this way. I can't stand playing this way. I can't stand watching people do this. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And in my opinion, it's really all relative, but in my opinion, it's worthless. And I'm gonna get into the story here in a minute that relates to that. But you see these guys, they come out and they're just, especially like these high school kids, they haven't really been playing tennis for a long time. They're bombing serves. You see guys on YouTube practicing their serve, practicing hitting spots, and me personally, I won't even do it. I won't even do it anymore. I've tried it. Occasionally I try it. It makes me sick to even, it's so effing boring. And I don't really think that it applies to a match at all. So here's the thing. Unless you're serving, and even then, unless you're serving 10 aces a match, unless you're that guy that serves consistently 10 aces a match, the only thing that serving without a partner is good for is warm up. That's it. Warm your body up. And when I say warm up, I don't even mean like, okay, you're serving really well. I mean, I don't know how many serves does it take to warm up. 30, 40 serves, you're warmed up, you're ready to play a match. Whatever that number is, that's it. That's all it's good for. And, a lot of times when I play, nowadays when I play, I don't even warm up. I just serve because I take it slow. And then the whole first set basically is a warm up. That's why when I'm just playing for fun, I don't even care what the score is, because literally I serve 30, 40 serves in the first set. That's my warm up. I'm playing points. I have a partner, and I'm not saying you should do that, but that's it. That's all that the serve is good for without a partner, is the warm up. Maybe we can include this when you're developing a game, or you're learning, or you're in the first couple years. You want to have some consistency. Can you hit without pressure 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10 in the box? And then can you hit the left side of the box, the middle, the right? According to, as I mentioned, according to the tennis map, can you hit those spots somewhat consistently? And that's good enough. Once you can do that, it's done. It's over. That's your routine. That's your warm-up. And then you play the match. And the thing that really proves this, like I said, no one's hitting aces in a match. And not only that, the balls are coming back. There's errors. There's faults. There's double faults. The balls are coming back. There's not that many aces. Beyond these two things, it just doesn't make any sense. And yet, there's people that continue to do this for whatever reason. Maybe it makes them comfortable. I don't know. It doesn't. It literally makes no sense. So let's get into my story. There was a guy in my area. I don't think I mentioned this guy before. His name was Diego, and this guy was stupid good at tennis. And when I say serve, his serve was amazing. This guy would pump out 20 aces in a match. I remember one of the high school teams I was coaching, the number one for the team I was coaching. He was one of those kids, like a really good high school player, had a lot of potential, but he wasn't a player. He didn't play tournaments. He grew up in a kind of like a bad area. I don't think he had a father figure around, etc. Like these kind of deals. Just played for his high school team, and they would joke around, they'd mess around, they'd have fun, and it was really hard to coach them. And then until we went up against this school, and I told them, I was like, "You're gonna get your ass whooped," and they're all laughing at me. They think it's a joke, and sure enough, this kid goes up against Diego on Diego's home court, where the courts are fast, they're slick as ice, and Diego pops off, like, no exaggeration, more than 20 aces on this kid. And it was just, the whole team is just silence. Like, they've never seen a team that good. They never played any kids that good. And this kid, Diego, this is what he would do. He thought he was, like, top shit in the area because he could just beat up on everyone. Because he had a huge forehand, he had a huge serve, and he even had a huge one-handed backhand. I mean, this kid, he could hit a tweener like it's nothing sophomore year. And this is how it was until he would go and play sectionals. So you have districts, he would do well, he'd probably always get into the final, maybe he'd win some, but then we go to sectionals where you include Philadelphia. In my area, let's talk about this area, was central Pennsylvania. You include Philadelphia, you include Pittsburgh, you include some of the other better players in the central PA area, and he had a hard time winning. He could compete, but he couldn't win, and his serve was useless. There was no more aces. There was no more easily winning points. The big forehand didn't matter anymore, and eventually, long story short, this kid goes on to play for a Division II school. And I don't think he ever played. Thing is, he would never travel to a national level tournament. So this whole thing makes sense because these players never leave their area. So they never leave their area, or they never play players. It's not just about leaving the area, but they never play players that can return their serve, or they don't give them players enough time to get used to their serve. They're one in and out. I'm going to whoop up on you, then I'm never going to play you again. And this is the thing. This isn't how it works. The ace, I haven't gotten into this much on my channel either. Like I said, if you're not consistently pumping out 10 plus aces against quality players, then there's no point to even practice this ace. It's kind of a thing that you do in the moment. You know, you're up 40-30, it's set point, maybe you try to pop off an ace, or for most regular people. And like this guy, for example, he was like 6 foot. He wasn't that tall. I mean, if you're like 6'5" or something, not to say you can't hit aces. I mean, I'm 5'7" and I can hit aces. There's been times, here's the thing, there's been times where I've strung along a lot of aces. But it's not something that I really needed to practice. It's something that comes in the moment. It comes with the different environments, the air movements, the courts. I can't really explain it all, the science of it all. Do I really need to? I mean, if you have this experience, then you know what I'm talking about. And all the evidence I need to laugh at these people is to watch them practice their serve on and on and on, and then get in a match and patty cake the serve, as they always do, or hit hundreds of faults, not necessarily double faults, but a lot of faults, and get into these long rallies. And that's all the evidence I need. One more point here before I go. This is the other thing that people don't realize. It's way more important than hitting really good serves, and that is the ability to play the game and get tough and be in tough situations. And I'm not saying that you should hit the serve lightly, because that's a whole other video that I can't stand either. There's a medium pace. There's a good, decent pace that isn't necessarily even slow. But when you can just, and I'm not even talking about topspin serve, but when you can get the serve in consistently at a decent pace, it's not going to be an ace. It's not going to set you up for a huge offensive third ball, but you're going to get into a grinded out rally, which I'm not a fan of. If you watch my channel, I'm not really a big fan of to begin with, because I think it's basically a crapshoot. But you got to get into these situations as a player to get, just again, not forever, but just like take my example of the high school kid. You're in high school. You've only been playing tennis for 3 years, 4 years. You've only been playing matches for 3 or 4 years. These are the people that need to be in these situations, and oftentimes these young players come into the game with these huge serves because they know how to throw. I was one of those kids. I had a pretty decent serve for being a short, skinny guy. And like I said, they come into the game, they know how to throw, they got a strong arm, and in the long run, it really hurts their game because they don't, I shouldn't say never, but they don't get enough experience in the situation that they're going to be in more often than not, no matter how many fucking serves they practice.